What's cooking, Juventus fans? Welcome back to your old lady's favorite YouTube channel. We continue to wait for Juventus to finally play their first friendly match in the United States of America for this summer tour. But before we do that, though, we're going to actually head into the mercato rumors. What are the main names when it comes to Juventus? Are they actually going to get anybody, or are we going to be stuck with the same useless squad? Stick with us. We'll fill you in. Ciao ragazzi, welcome back to the Bianconeri Zone. My name is Justin Sofro. Today it is Tuesday, July 25th, 2023. Of course, I got your latest rundown of all things Juventus, all the news you care about each and every single day. Before we do anything though, do me a solid favor, smash that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that bell icon to stay notified for all of our latest videos. And just a reminder, if you would like to win a t-shirt, go ahead and subscribe to my other channel. It will be over here in this corner right now, as well as you can go in the comments or the description down below and click that link there, hit the subscribe button, and you'll be entered in to win a free t-shirt. All right, let's get into it. Let's talk about the news that we have when it comes to Juventus. Very first up, and the one thing we know with this mercato, the slow-paced mercato that is going on with Juventus, is we need to make something happen. I'm sorry, Artur Melo moving to Fiorentina while Juventus continues to pay everything right now. We get $2 million or €2 million for the loan, but otherwise you're basically continuing to pay for him to be a Juventus player at this point, but just not play for Juventus. Doesn't really help us at all. We'll talk about one guy who has the likelihood of moving on and bringing in at least a little bit of cash for Juventus, and that's Gazzetta dello Sport reporting on Zacadilla. The latest updates when it comes to him is that Juventus's efforts are focused on the departure of Zacadilla, and then they are continuing to engage in talks with West Ham, who remain at the forefront. However, in the last few hours, Leipzig and Leverkusen have also inquired and gathered information about the player. So there's two more options that are potentially coming to the table. I doubt it will ever become anything like a bidding war between the three teams, but if we can at least turn the heat up a little bit, get this ball rolling and get this thing moving on, because the mercato only has, like I said, has like another month left, but the mercato has been stretching out enough when we've had no movement and nothing of interest outside of pushing out some kind of players and trying to kick out Bonucci and everything that goes along with that. Let's get this thing rolling. My biggest issue with all this is I just want to be able to sit here at the beginning of the season and say, without a doubt, without any symptom of a doubt, that we have a better squad moving into this next season to give me any kind of hope that Juve will actually be competing for Scudetto, at least top four, but really it's the Scudetto. It's Scudetto or bust this upcoming season, and it should be that when it comes to Max Allegri. We continue on, though. We talk about one name that could potentially be an incoming player for Juventus in the mercato, one that's been come up recently in the past few days. We talked about it. Gazzetta dello Sport is reporting that Juventus continued to pursue Jasper Lindstrom. The attacking midfielder remains a target for the Bianconeri, especially because he would offer Allegri the option to change the formation and play with a pure attacking midfielder behind two forwards. Obviously, the 23-year-old that's currently playing for Eintracht Frankfurt could be a very interesting name. The only issue with him is I feel like this is not a guy that Juventus are going to go all out for. This is going to be a guy who's a last-second pickup in this mercato. So you're probably going to be looking at the later end of the mercato before Juventus really turn it up and really decide to commit to bringing in this player. Though it could be a very interesting name for Juventus moving forward. I just want to take a real quick time out and just say I'm sorry for those of you that this really bothers and you just can't stop filling your diaper about it. If I pronounce somebody's name wrong, which I'm sure I butchered at least 2 or 3 in the last couple minutes, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, bro. I'm sorry. You're going to have to get over it. I can't help it. Nobody says my name here, right? I live in America. My last name's Sofro. Nobody knows how to say Sofro. They call it Sephora, whatever. You're going to have to get over it. I'm sorry. That's all I'm going to say. I just had to get that out of there before more people complain and whine and cry in the comments. Sorry for your free content that I'm not saying correctly. I apologize. All right, let's get into it. Let's talk about some other players that I'm probably going to mispronounce their name. And of course, we're going to get into the situation with Frank Kessie. Alfredo Padula is reporting that the focus for the midfield is increasingly on Kessie. Barcelona has opened up to a move, but Kessie is taking his time, but is open to a move to Juventus. Before any new signings, Juventus need to sell. And again, that's what we talked about at the beginning of this video. Sell, get it done. They haven't got anything really done so far. Again, I'm not giving credit for the Archer to Fiorentina move, but we got to be able to sell something to get anything moving, especially with the lack of funding coming in because of the failures, not just from Max Allegri, but from the club as a whole, that keep them out of the UCL, keep them out of having some good money to spend on some top tier talent. Well, the question is, what does that mean? Vlahovic, it's been a little bit calmer lately. There hasn't been a lot of talk about Vlahovic moving on. And again, if it goes to Chiesa, and if he were to get moved on, it seems like that's less and less likely lately, which I would really, really hope so. I'd hope Juventus would commit to Federico Chiesa and him being an important part moving forward. But again, something's got to give when it comes to the moving on. Vlahovic would be a loss, but at the same time, giving his output and his performances over the last season, I wouldn't shed a tear over it. That's all I had to really say. I'm sure he'll have a better performance somewhere else. It just isn't working out here, at least for now. But when it comes to Kessie, that's one that Juventus really, that's probably the top tier target. It's probably the most exciting target that Juventus is going after. So we'll see how that one ends up panning out. Hopefully we get some kind of update on that here in the future. I think there've also been some reports that have kind of fluttered out there within the day, talking about maybe some kind of an agreement with him, an agreement, whatever. But Barcelona, that agreement has yet to occur. So once that does, we will discuss that. And then finally, the name that everybody is, everybody's hot and bothered by. And when I say hot and bothered, I don't mean a good hot and bothered. I mean a negative, angry hot and bothered. And that's, of course, that of Lukaku and his association in the Juventus mercato. And if he will, they won't they, what's going to happen there? Well, Alfredo Padula has a report saying that the latest updates that Lukaku has had further direct contact with Juventus. They have asked him to wait and take his time amidst the pressing offers from that of Al Hilal. Lukaku is willing to wait. However, he won't wait forever. Something needs to change regarding Vlahovic, which I just discussed. Vlahovic, will he go to? Is he going to go to Germany? Is that where he's going to end up in the end? We have to wait to see if any of those offers come in. Obviously from Bayern or anywhere else potentially that could be going after him. We've had other rumors in the past, but it's kind of cooled down, kind of gotten quiet when it comes to that. So I'm waiting to see what will happen there. Though, I mean, if it's me, I'd rather retain Vlahovic if the other option is getting Lukaku. Though, let's be clear, I mean, I guess when it comes to the Serie A and his performances, Lukaku's got a better history. I can't even argue that. As much as I dislike Lukaku, as much as I dislike the stank that's surrounding him because of his time at Inter, and I don't really like to do the reverse Inter thing where you just go get one of their old players the way that they like to do with Juventus. But at the same time, he is successful in the Serie A. He has performed well. He is going to score goals, probably some goals that are going to win you games. I don't know. I'm not trying to talk anybody into it. I'm not talking myself into it. That's just, those are the facts. And we'll see what happens there with that. But that's something to keep an eye on as we continue down this long road that is this mercado. Let me know your thoughts and opinions in the comment section down below if you have not already. Again, you can follow me at Justin Sofro on Twitter. You can follow Bianconeri's on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, all that good stuff. Anyway, guys, I will see you all next time. Forza Juve, Forza Bianconeri. Say hello to the old lady for me.